Now, there are two theories, the usual suspects here. Realism, it's called realism, unfortunately, which sounds like it's something good, right? But realism in the theory of concepts means that concepts are part of reality. Universals are intrinsic in things. The man, or manness, man himself, is out there waiting to be seen. Plato said to Antisthenes, you don't see man because you're looking with your physical eye. Look with your mind's eye. Your mind can get the form of man that exists in another dimension in the world of forms which you can't see with your senses. It's like a heaven. The Christians took their idea of heaven largely from this. Then there are the, oh, come on, school, nominalism. Universals are subjective. We make them. There's nothing out there that corresponds to man. It's just that we use words in a certain way. Now, I'm going to give the nominalists the polemical shaft in a minute, but let's take up the best, because I want you to appreciate that there is a real problem here. John Locke, one of the few good guys in the history of philosophy, 1632 to 1704, the founding father's founding father. He's responsible for the whole theory of rights. And he had some pretty good things, but mixed up in epistemology. So he has the best theory of universals in the history of thought before Ayn Rand. He said that the universal is an attribute that's the same in the various concretes, like the whiteness of snow and the whiteness of milk. You separate out that the snow is very, very cold and the milk is always cool. You separate out that the snow is granular and milk is liquid. You separate out that the snow comes from the sky and the milk from the cow. And you are left just with the whiteness. If you drop out enough of the differing attributes, you'll come to that they both have whiteness, and you focus on that one thing to the exclusion of that which differs. And when you see it again, like in this tablecloth in front of us, you reckon, oh yeah, that's the same thing that was in milk and in snow. Sounds pretty good. Problem is that he picked a very special case, and even that special case fails. So you see there's snow and milk. They aren't the same white. I'm sorry, there's no whiteness that's identical in milk and snow, and to show that, I put them together. See how milky the milk looks against the snow? It's not the same white. And what are you going to do with this? Here's a spectrum I found on the internet of blue. Those are pure monochromatic shades of blue. We have no hesitancy in calling them all blue, but they're all different. And to show you that, you see where the white lines are cut out and moved together, two shades. They're not the same. Put together, one looks purple and the other looks aqua, greenish, right? But in context, they both look like blue. That is, when compared to the appropriate intermediate shades, they both look blue. Then we come to this somewhat deranged individual, Ludwig Wittgenstein, who actually, I mean, if he hadn't said this, we would have had to pay somebody to say it. What's common to all the shades of blue? Quote, nothing more than that we use the word blue in all these cases. Fantastic. I mean, you couldn't make it up. So here's something that you haven't seen before. What word do you think you would use for this? Jealousy? Tomato? Afternoon? You have 20,000 words in your vocabulary. I bet if I asked you to write down 99% of you, leaving aside the Antisthenes types among you, would write watch or wristwatch. How can that be? The only thing in common between this and anything else you've ever seen and called watch is that you now use the word watch. But there are lots of things you've called afternoon. How come you're using watch for this? All of you. It's the most unbelievable coincidence. And not afternoon. So this is not a good theory. And if we get past blue, we're here to discuss higher level concepts. Well, color is a higher, next level higher after blue, right? So where is the one identical coloredness in all those beautifully shaded tomatoes? Those are dyed tomatoes or tomatoes shot with a filter or something. Where is the colored? I see the orange, I see the red, I see the green. Where is the coloredness? Well, let's ignore the orange. Oh, then if I ignore the orange, I'm left with just the shape. You can't strip away the specific form in which an attribute takes from the attribute. Orange, that shade of orange that you're looking at there, that shade of orange is not a combination of two things. Coloredness modified by orangeness. It just is a certain combination of wavelengths of light reflecting from that surface. And you know from your monitors, you can give it 3 numbers in RGB, red, green, blue combo, and it's 3 numbers. It isn't a combination of quantity plus 3 numbers. It's light of certain 3 wavelengths mixed together. Or how about these? Strip away the different shapes, and what have you got? Nothing. Or well, I guess you have dark. The differences there are differences in the triangularity. There's no triangularity plus rightness plus scaliness plus isosceles-ness. And what if we go to a higher order concept? Polygon. Where is the universal? Well, they're all closed plane figures. Yes, but they're all different closed. Some have 5 sides, some have, I think I made 8, some have 4, some have 3. Where's the polygon anality there that makes them all polygons? There isn't any. Now, moderate nihilism, leaving Wittgenstein's extreme statement behind us, there is moderate nominalism, which says, okay, it's not just that we use the same word, they resemble each other, they're similar. And this could be looked at as an advance. But it faces 2 problems. Similarity is just a feeling as they hold it. It's just an unanalyzable primary. So I parody that as, there are all these different concretes that you feel they go together, so you call them all by the same name. That's not a theory, right? That's hand-waving in the extreme, throwing up your hands in despair, and the 2 problems that it cannot answer. How similar do things have to be in order to warrant being filed together? And similar, how? Cute, huh? That came to me in a course at the University of Texas that I taught in 2002. How similar and similar how? Let's take how similar. And of course the theme is the answers nominalists give or open the door to subjectivism. One of the things that we are here to fight for is the objectivity of human development, of what makes a human being a human being, right? I mean, it's particularly in regard to abortion that we see this issue of what is man have tremendous political, personal, social meaning. Okay, how similar do things have to be to a baby in order to qualify as a man? And you see there the weeks of gestation. And it's, of course, these are quantized into weeks. You could take it by seconds. It's a continuous development. How similar, where do you draw the line? How similar do they have to be? Well, according to nominalism, it's just a social question. It's wherever people decide. Let's vote on it. There's no facts. It's all continuous. It's an arbitrary decision of society. So forget rights. I think the more interesting problem is similar how, and because it plays more directly into the objectivist solution. Here we have a pumpkin and a baseball. And they're similar. I mean, they look alike, right? The shape is the same, the color is different, but you can focus on the shape and say one's bigger, one's oranger, but they have pretty similar shapes. Yeah, I feel like those go together. Oh, hockey puck. Yeah, that's similar to baseball. They're both sports objects that are pushed or thrown or hit around the field. The hockey puck is like does for hockey what the baseball does for baseball. And sure, the hockey puck is similar to the hockey stick. They're both parts of the game of hockey. Yeah, they belong together. Oh, yeah, hockey stick looks like a broom. And in fact, they sweep the ice with it. I mean, they make a kind of sweeping motion. I think you're taught in hockey, think of sweeping with a broom. You're taught that way to swing the stick. Yeah, so we're left with a pumpkin belongs with a broom. Something has gone very wrong, and it's under that heading of similar how, because we began with similarity in shape, then we shifted to similarity in function, then we shifted to similarity in proximity of use, both used in the hockey game, then we switched to similarity in shape. And if you do that, you've got modern thinking. And I'm very sorry for you. So nominalism is not a theory. It's just throwing up one's hands in despair, or, for the worst people, in gleeful whim worship. You can't tell me how to define terms. It's up to me.